English is not good.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
What is up, YouTube? Hello, hello. Hopefully we get some people coming in here in a second. You guys in Discord, are you watching the YouTube as well? I think you.
Yo.
So
What's going on, man? So we're going to be here in just a couple minutes going over some scenarios and stuff. And people can either chat on the YouTube or they can hop in the Discord and come into the general and comment. So hopefully you guys will be making decisions, right? Based on whatever the scenario is. We'll be assigning like squad leaders or team leaders or whatever it is, and then letting people make their decisions. And I'll be playing as the enemy based on what you guys do.
Oh, nice. It's awesome, man. Nice.
are we gonna have a set loadout, like the tools at our disposal, or is this just what we naturally are gonna run for whatever we're prepared for?
Yeah, some stuff the question is what you'll bring inherently in it. Some stuff I didn't really talk about that. This is all definitely civilian minded, right? With the limitations and restrictions that we all know we exist underneath. I'm not expecting anybody to have a 240 or frag grenades. But yeah, I haven't really thought too deep into the hyper details like that. So for this one, we can kind of keep it general, or if you want to make it specific, that's cool. Just grounded in reality. You know what I'm saying?
All right, no problem. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, man, let me ask you something, yeah? I love the rifle, yeah?
Yeah, what's up?
So, I have Saiga rifle, yeah? Saiga.
I don't think
You know that, right?
What's that?
Saiga. How do you say? Saiga. Let me write in the Discord, yeah?
I'm not sure. I don't understand you, brother. I'm sorry.
I mean, look, my rifle, it's a Tiger.
Oh, your rifle is a Tiger. You put Tiger Strike on your rifle?
No, how do you say?
A Sega.
My rifle
is a Sega.
Yeah, my rifle bullet kite. I don't have bullet kite in my rifle. Yeah? You know the bullet kite, right?
All right, let's talk about that another time, dude.
Okay, right.
Yeah, no, you're good, dude. So for those of us that are in America, or if this applies to you elsewhere, that's fine. I just have like the first one to get everybody warmed up while a few more people roll in. Let's talk about it's right now today. You're at your house, wherever you live, and you hear on the news that a bunch of riots broke out in whatever the largest city closest to you is. And you think to yourself, like, man, that's crazy. Good thing I don't live downtown. That's why I don't live there. But then you get a call or a text from your grandma that she was trying to get some last minute shopping done, and she got trapped in one of the shops down there on Main Street. And it's up to you to go in there and take care of her. So what are you taking? How are you getting in there? What are you doing once you get to her? Right? Are you trying to shelter in place? Or are you trying to exfil? And then based on what your plan is, how are you going to execute the follow-on actions? So if anybody wants to talk or type out in chat, let's hear it.
So you may write in the chat, yeah? You can understand easily, yeah? Right?
What's up, bro?
Let me write in the chat.
Yeah, write in the chat, man.
You can understand.
Yeah, write it out. Write it out on YouTube. That's probably the easiest because I'm looking at the YouTube chat.
Okay.
8-inch 300 blackout, Tiger's chest rig. All right. So how are you? Right. So it's going to be a riot. There's going to be like hundreds or thousands of people all over the place. Are you concealing that, or you're just going out and you're hoping that there's a show of force, Adam, with your 8-inch 300 blackout? What's your plan? To just point that rifle in everybody's face and they're going to cower to your mighty power, or you're going to wear a trench coat? What's your game plan? You need to source more intel, better sit rep. Yeah, well, unfortunately, you always want more intelligence, but rarely there is more intelligence, right? If you need to add on to that scenario, right, whatever makes sense to you, what you have in your house, whatever the nearest town is to you, however far away that is, et cetera, et cetera. Form the details in your own world so that it makes sense for your personal life.
It's me long survival is me, okay? On YouTube.
Yep. Sounds good, dude.
It's me. Yeah.
Lone survivalist. Yeah, that's a pretty good plan. Long rifle and gym bag with a few extra mags, plate carrier enclosed. As long as you're able to keep that plate carrier concealed. Yeah, what's up, man? Go for it.
Hey, I had something come up quick, and I kind of missed your little brief description of the scenario. Can you run that through pretty quickly for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So the scenario that we're talking about right now is, it's right now modern day. You're in your house with all the stuff you normally have. You hear on the news that some riots broke out at whatever your most nearest large metropolitan area is, right? And you think to yourself, oh, that's crazy. Good thing I'm not there. That's why I don't live downtown. But then you get a call or a text from your grandma that she was trying to get some shopping done and she didn't know all this political hoopla was going on. And she's trapped in one of the shops down there and she's calling you for help because the cops can't get to her. So what's your plan? How are you going to get to her? When you do get to her, are you trying to shelter in place? Are you trying to exfil? And based on whatever your plan is, what are your follow-on actions? Probably put through.
You just want us to come up with a plan for that, or you want us to put it in chat, or how do
Yeah.
you?
I mean, you're talking voice, so you can talk right now. Can you guys on YouTube? Can you hear the Discord chat? The guys in Discord, can you hear them talking? Put the rifle, the shotgun, guitar, dress like them, blend in. Yeah, definitely blending in, I think, is the right tactic. I was in SA mall. The guy got shot, and everyone else was running out. Only me and one other dude went looking for a shooter. All right, good. That's good, Adam. Like to hear that. I mean, it's unfortunate that happened to you, but I'm glad to hear that you were ready to take care of business, protect your community. 8.5, 5.56, simple chest rig. So my question to everybody that's saying I take a rifle. Some guys are saying they take a rifle in a bag. The thought that I would pose to you, and it depends on what your plan is, right? How are you, if you're walking around with that bag literally in a riot, there's a good chance that someone's going to try and snatch that from you, or you're going to get separated from it. Unless it's literally like attached to your body with a cross strap or multiple straps. And if you have a rifle out, obviously everybody's going to see you have a rifle out. You're kind of asking for trouble. Just thoughts, right? It depends. If you think you're able to basically pull the Vic up, like hop out, run 50 yards into the complex with your rifle, and then you're going to pull your rifle out and shelter in place, and hopefully nobody even sees you. That's not a terrible plan, I guess. It all depends on your exact location and what you're thinking in your head. Definitely exfil, not staying put, in and out fast as I can. Yeah. If you think you can get out, that's a fair point. All right.
So
yeah, go for it, dude.
Good.
No, you.
All right. I was just going to say that. So I make my way over in that situation with a concealed pistol, and I like to carry my Kelty, especially in the city, because it's kind of a kind of a popular backpack for the people that I'm around. And I'm going to be keeping extra clothes, meds, and everything, any sustainment supplies I'll need for that and getting her out of there.
Yeah, man. It sounds like a pretty solid plan. I think attempting to blend in as much as you can is definitely the play. You know, probably want to carry more than your one spare mag for your EDC. If you carry a pocket pistol, you're probably trying to take something bigger than that. But trying to keep it as low key as you can, I think, is probably definitely the call, right? If you can just look like a random people moving about the mob and nobody even really zones in on you, that's probably your best bet, in my personal opinion. All right, so we're going to talk about this that I have drawn up on the board here. We're gonna have a 9-man squad, so 1 squad leader and then 2 4-man teams, each with a team leader. This is post event, so the SH has TDEF, or we don't have rule of law, or whatever all the acronyms everybody likes to use, right? There's no cops, there's no emergency services, there's no army, there's no government, and we're helping police and keep our local community safe. And we got a distress call over the radio from this handful of little like rural farming community out here that some local bad guys that we've been tracking, they've been plaguing the towns adjacent to us, but they hadn't come into our area yet, and now we're just now getting a distress call, and we believe that it was probably them. They say that these people are being harassed and extorted, and they're pulling people out of their houses. Right, one of the neighbors called before they got to them, and reported that's about a team-size element, which is in line with the recon information we have about this suspected unit or group that we're dealing with. So we're QRF, quick reaction force. We're rallying the team. We're going out there. Assume general combat loadout, whatever you have, whatever. If you work with a team of people or whatever, then there you go, that stuff. And right, so we can come however you want, right? I gave us 3 options. We can come from the south, we can come from the north, we can come here from the west. We just know that they're operating in this general vicinity, but by the time of travel it takes us to get there, we have no idea exactly where they're going to be on site. So again, we have 9 men, that's 1 squad leader, 2 4-man teams, each of those is a team leader, and we'll be traveling in 3 Vics. Each Vic is going to have 3 people. Each Vic is going to have 1 of the leadership elements in it, as well as a driver, and then 1 dismount. Any questions? Any questions? And if no questions, my next question to you is, I need 3 volunteers, YouTube or voice chat. Who wants to be the squad leader, and who wants to be team 1 team leader, and who wants to be team 2 team leader? YouTube, if you want to click on the link and hop in the Discord, it's absolutely free. There's no restrictions. I'm not trying to sell you anything. You can get in the voice chat right now and communicate that way if you'd like. Lone survivalist, you want to be a team leader? Yeah, you got it. You can be team 1 team leader.
Yes.
I'll be a squad leader.
Okay. So we got 1 team leader spot available.
And you said this was based in a suburban area?
Like semi-rural farming community, right? So these are the main houses here, and this is about 100 meters for your ranging.
On the sides of the roads, are those going to be deep dive ditches?
Right. We'll get into that. Yeah, I was about to get into that, but absolutely. So along the side of the road, we have canals here, and those canals are slightly overgrown. And then up here is just tree line vegetation for whatever applies to your local area that you're used to. And but all of this is generally kept up in cleared yard, right? These are the houses, and these are the houses down here, and then all these other structures are just random whatever, right? Water tanks, sheds, barns, whatever you want to think about it as. Anybody else want to be a team leader? If not, I can just take that spot. I'll give it a couple more seconds. All right, squad leader. I'll be team leader too, unless somebody steps up while you're gonna give us our brief. So what do you want to do? Where do you want to come from? You have 3 Vics and 9 men.
All right. So I want to. So we got 3 Vics.
3 Vics, 9 men.
All right. So I want 2 Vics to come from the south and 1 come from the north. I want to have the first team sweep through the one that's coming from the north, and I want the other 2. I want 1 to put up a support by fire if needed, or at least in a assault position. You know, if it's going to be needed, because we don't really know yet. So the other team, I want them to come from the south, and I want them to come from the opposite end of the buildings where the first team is.
So over here? Like over here?
Right, see where on the left side of the screen, yes.
Okay. So you have 2 Vics over here?
Yes. Here, you might have to pull the camera back. I can't quite see the whole board.
You're on the Discord. Got you.
Yeah.
Can you look on the YouTube? Is that going to be possible for you? Probably not. So I got you. You're down here. Right. You are down here.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah.
Cool. So we got 1 Vic parked up north, and then we were able to pull these Vics across the yard, avoid getting anything stuck, and we have 2 vehicles staged. Probably IRL, there's a little bit more dispersion here, but they'd probably be off camera over here somewhere. Okay, so as you approach, you see that there's definitely activity in these 2 houses, and Vic 1 immediately starts to take some sporadic contact from them. So you see a bunch, you see stuff scattered out in front of these 2 and possibly some other houses. You see civilians displaced and kind of scattering around, 4 or 5 of them. And as soon as you start to kind of take it all in, you start to receive pop shots from these 2 houses right here. Vic 1 does. So team leader 1, you're receiving contact right now. What do you do immediately?
I'm going to have my first team pull back while my other 2 engage and try to suppress so that they have time to get out of there. I'm going to have, let's see, it was 2 teams. 2 teams, just 2 teams, right?
Well, yeah, it's all how we organize it. It's an army squad, so it's a 9-man squad, 2 4-man teams with a squad leader. But to travel, we put that into 3 Vics. So each Vic does have a team leader. So you're in 1 car, team 2 leaders in 1 car, team 1 team leaders in 1 car, and then they each have 2 riflemen with them.
All right. So I'm going to have one of the teams come kind of directly below on the other side of the road where those houses are. And then the other team's going to come up from the left-hand side, directly below on the other side of the road where those houses are. And then the other team's going to come up from the left-hand side of the houses that they're at and attempting to assault it, or at least disengage or neutralize the people.
All right. So you're going to have 1 Vic by the road and then 1 Vic all the way on the opposite side of the map, south, and you're going to have them push north?
Yes.
All right. As you begin to do that, you start to take contact from the opposite side of the road in the canal. You have 1 vehicle. Team 1 is parked up here. You're going to be over here in Vic 3. Oh, well, actually, I'll put myself in Vic 3 off the map, and then you're in Vic 2 over here next to the road. So we're pushing north. We're taking sporadic contact from across the road in the canal.
Best thing I can do is try to gain fire superiority and push that first team.
Okay. So we're going to dismount. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yep.
Cool. So we have 2 cars parked. 6 guys dismounted in places that make sense. All right. And we are engaging. And we are being engaged. And the civilians are all scattering and running back inside. And we see like lights turning on inside these houses and then turning off abruptly and a bunch of activity going on. Vic 1 is just parked off the map up here, standing by. What do you do, squad leader?
I could have the first team that's parked up off the map because they're not getting engaged, right?
Correct. They are
They're
not
all
engaged.
players 1 to 2. For any buildings that have just citizens in them, I would try to make sure people are staying in their homes and not making a spectacle so that they're not going to be getting in harm's way. And I would push that first team, have them dismount and try to move on the people while my other teams are trying to suppress.
Move from where to where? So they're right.
Move.
They're right here, right now, just off the map. You can't.
Yeah, drive them close enough where they can dismount behind cover. So I would say behind the house on the left-hand side of that road, just below there. So the house right before where they're engaging.
Right there?
Up a little bit, because they're coming from that house, yes.
Got you.
I want them to have some cover before they try moving.
Cool. So that's like a shed. So they're gonna come up and they're going to come in and sweep and park the vehicle like this, which maximizes that cover. They're gonna dismount. And then you want them to go where?
I want to push I'm gonna have team 1 wet their fires because I don't want them to get hit in a crossfire. I'm gonna have that team push onto them, and team 2 at the bottom left, I want them to orient their fires on that first house just to get their heads down so the guys can get in.
Right here or right here?
Right there.
Right. So now we've got an angle of fire like this, and then we're gonna push these guys into there. Correct?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So you do that. You get in here. Once they're in here, some people accurately into the canal, they see their backs are exposed, right? And we have some enemy KIA. We have 2 enemy KIA over here, and all fires from this zone cease. You still there, brother? UMWG, you there, bro?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, where'd the fire cease from?
Right, so from this part of the canal here.
Yep.
Right, so you came up here, you took this vehicle, you took this house with Vic 1. They were able to see these enemy in the canal. They shot them, enemy KIA, and now we have no enemy fires coming from this portion of the canal. Over here, we still are having some sporadic fires come primarily focused on this team over here from your vehicle, where you guys were just had a support by fire set up onto that building they entered.
Okay. I'm gonna have my team 2 on the bottom right. I'm gonna have them link up with the other team, and I'm gonna have them satellite patrol in a kind of trying to bound up to the building to where they're not going to get hit, while team 1 is trying to suppress the buildings.
So you want wrong marker. You want this team here that's south to try and link up with this team on the other side of the road?
Yes.
So you want them to cross this danger area?
I mean,
or you want them to stay on the other side of the road? I'm just making sure I understand.
No. I know what you're saying. No, I'm going to keep them there. I'm just going to have them help with suppression on the buildings while the top team pushes it through.
Okay. So this building's taken. We're probably now focusing our fires with this team onto these buildings. From here, we can suppress that building, right? And then allow team 1 to go this way?
Yes.
Got it. Cool. Team 1 comes to enter this building. While they're clearing it, they get into a small gunfight. There was an enemy fighter hiding in a closet. Gunfire was exchanged. He was killed. One of your guys is injured, but not at risk of dying. However, he's out of the fight. We now have 3 enemy KIA. You are down. You now have a buddy pair over here. you're receiving fire still from this side of the canal, but now it's getting sporadic. It's turning into sporadic precision fire, and it's changing where it's coming from exactly from within the canal, and it's changing from whether it's over here, or being directed back at those buildings.
Okay.
What are we doing? 10, 9, 8, 7,
I'm
6.
just gonna have the bottom right team help out team 1 on the bottom left to suppress.
So they're gonna go where? They're gonna cross, yeah, or no?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat what you were saying about the sporadic fire? I don't think I fully understood you.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. So we're still receiving fire from this location in the canal on the opposite side of the road. But now instead of being like a high volume and focused on a specific threat, it's now changing. It's focusing. It's changing its focus across our entire squad, which is dispersed through this entire battle space, right? So it'll be a couple shots here, and then it'll come from a different part of the canal. It'll be a couple shots over there, and it'll come from a different part of the canal. It'll be a couple shots over here, and they're changing from like high volume to more precision style shots, and the volume, the rate of fire has drastically reduced.
I'm just gonna have that bottom right team help suppress while the other team pushes through, even if it's only a few guys or inaccurate fires.
Cool. So these guys here are going to suppress into there.
Yes.
And then this team is going to push up.
Well, I still have the top team as well.
Yes, correct. It's a buddy pair now. You have one injured but not at risk of dying, so he's patched up and leaned against the wall, and the citizens are helping tend to him, and you still have a buddy pair that's able to be in the fight. Nick Lopez, team 3 up here is just a buddy pair, just so you're aware. This is a standard residential house, multi-room building.
I honestly just pushed the 2 guys.
Push with the
2 guys and
push with the 2 guys.
Probably have 2 from the bottom right team suppress, and then the two on the right have them push across the danger area while the other team and a half are suppressing.
Okay, so these suppress, push across. Correct?
Yeah, I'll have 2 guys push across to help out the other team.
Cool. 2 guys push across. 2 guys run across successfully. They took some sporadic fire when they ran, but it didn't connect with anybody. They link up. You now have 4 people here. And this team is now just 1 guy. So you have 4 guys on this side of the road, 4 guys on that side of the road. So I assume you're going to push this team into this building then? Or yes? Okay, so you push them into this.
I would push them across.
Push them across. They come into this building. So they're all in here now. There was no enemy in this building. And all fires have ceased. Nobody is currently shooting at you.
From here, I would have that building we just went into. I would just have them cover the other team so they can all link up and do a final sweep through the neighborhood.
Okay. Cool. So you do that. You sweep through the neighborhood. No other enemy were found. You suspect that the last 1 or 2 survivors ran away through the canal system and they squeaked out. And no civilians were harmed. And there was property that was damaged, but that's the nature of the beast. And you guys go home. Mission success. WWWW. I know that wasn't very intensive on us lone survivors. Sometimes team leaders just follow orders. Sometimes they get stranded out on their own and have to make crazy decisions like they're a platoon commander. It just depends on the fight. All right, boys. How'd we like that? Everybody in chat, what would you do different? What did you like? What would you have changed? All right, let's see what we got next. Here's another thought process for everybody while I write up the next one. You're at Walmart Super Center with your wife and kids, enjoying a wonderful American afternoon, and you hear that there's an active shooter that rings out. You do concealed carry, and so does your wife. You have 2 children with you. Your car is parked roughly in the middle of the parking lot, literally in the middle of the parking lot, and you are in the middle of the store roughly. You're meandering about the inner aisles. What do you do? Do you find a place to shelter in place? Do you attempt to exit? When you do exit, do you let your wife take your kids to the car and leave and you go back into Walmart? Do you follow your wife and kids to the car and then go back to Walmart? Do you get in the car and drive them across the street and then leave them and run back to Walmart? Think about that for a while, boys and girls. If you're in the chat here, feel free to talk away. What up, HK? What up, Harry?
What up, Joe? How y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Still at work on my break. Thought I'd hop in for a bit.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool.
What we got going on?
Some tactical decision-making games. I was just asking everybody if they're in Walmart, what they would do. If you're at Walmart Super Center, you conceal carry, your wife conceal carries. You're in the middle of Walmart, your car is parked in the middle of the parking lot, and an active shooter situation breaks out somewhere. You just hear shots ring out. What is your game plan? What are you doing? How are you keeping everybody safe? What do you feel your responsibilities are?
Yeah, man. So I kind of just finished discussing this with my teammates. I'm a supervisor. I've got about 50 teammates over me, and we have weekly safety meetings. And one of the safety topics that we just discussed, we have weekly safety topics that we have to cover, was know your emergency exits. And so I had them all point to the emergency exit, in our warehouse. And then I told them, guys, I urge you to pay attention when outside of work, when you guys go shopping, when you go to Walmart, Costco, Sam's, go to the mall, in an emergency, people that don't have it planned out in their head, when an emergency strikes, everyone's going to want to leave through the same doorway that they came in. Well, that's going to be congested and that's going to be dangerous. So I encouraged everyone, hey, the buildings or the stores that you go to most often, locate the emergency exit, know where that's at. And, that's going to be the route to take. It's going to be the least congested. It may be the closest. But, to answer your question, my priority would be, first and foremost, get my wife out, get her out of the building, probably through the back, and have her go with people around the back of the building. If you're in a big shopping center, a lot of them share back doors and docks, and maybe try to enter through the back door of another store next door. Sometimes they keep them open, and they would allow people in an emergency instead of just running down a long alleyway behind all those stores where you could be targeted by someone with a rifle. So maybe exit through the back of the store and then try to go 2 doors down to the next store and try to enter through the back. Sometimes they're open. If not, then just freaking book it behind the store. For me, though, as far as my responsibilities, or I'd like to say, that I would try to stop the threat. I would definitely step in. But I've never been in a life or death situation like that. So I know when your adrenaline kicks in and whatnot, I could react totally differently. But Just for the sake of this conversation, you know.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's not about ego, brother. We're talking strategy, tactics, thought experiments, you know.
Definitely want to in Texas. There's a lot of people that concealed carry. So like one thing I don't think people realize is I want to make sure that I'm not identified as the shooter on accident. Like I don't want to, you know, if there's other guys in the store with me trying to find the shooter, I don't want to be in a threatening posture or something, or be mistaken for the shooter. And you also, you know, you need to look for crossfire and what is your backstop and so on and so forth. Because I tell my wife this all the time. You know, when I'm in public here in Texas, I'm like, man, that guy's got to be carrying. Think of all the guys that, you know, they're wearing their grunt, their what is that brand of shirt? Grunt style.
Grunt style.
You know, like you got those guys, and you know they're packing. But then there's just like in your EDC video, you know, you've got your good old Craigs that just walking around trying to chill with the mangina. You know, like you never know.
Yeah, dude, you never know.
So you never know how many people are gonna respond. So, but in Texas, I can, and I'm sure you can attest to this too. There's a lot of people that carry, and more now that we have constitutional carry, you don't need the CCW anymore.
Twin Arrows the links in the description of this and in like all my videos, and it's linked in my channel.
Yeah.
I agree with everything you're saying, brother. My plan would be to keep it holstered, right? So even if like I hear the, you know, bang, 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 I know there's an active shooter. Even if it's time for me to hunt him down while I'm walking around looking for him, I'm probably going to leave my shit holstered and concealed, right? I'm going to wait ideally until I see him, which puts me at a bit of a disadvantage, but you're right. Like if 20 people unholster before they even see him and they're all walking around, then we're playing a big, you know, Spider-Man pointing at himself 10 times over game of who's the active shooter and who's the good guy.
Exactly. Yeah, but for me, that in like a shopping center, that would probably be my escape route. And maybe if I can't locate him, then maybe try to direct people to the back of the store. Because like where we go shopping, there's 10 stores, and there's probably like a 300-yard stretch behind all these buildings where they have dock doors for trucks to come in and whatnot, but it's just a big long alleyway. And so, yeah, I get to the back, exit, and then try to find another store and enter through their back door, instead of just running down that alleyway where you could be a target. I don't know. That'd be my thought process.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard. I've never been in an active shooter situation myself, but I've heard from multiple people that you want to run away from the crowd, even though that goes against our herd instinct, because the active shooter is looking for high kill counts. So they're just trying to spray down the fish in the barrel. So if you stop swimming the same direction as all the salmon, you probably are just by default of doing that no longer in harm's way.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. All right, boys, we're going to need 2 volunteers for this one. You are a 6-man recon element, right? Whether you want to call that a team or a squad. The way I would task organize that myself is 2 3-man teams. But you have 6 men and two people that are in leadership positions. You are on a multi-day reconnaissance patrol. We're doing Reiki. We're doing it now. It's happening right now. It's happening, boys. And this is without rule of law or whatever, right? So we don't know. That's why we're out here. We have no idea what the fuck's going on. We don't know what to expect. It could be completely unoccupied. It could be a whole regiment of enemy forces chilling over here. So that's why we're doing a 6-man reconnaissance patrol for the next couple days in this AO. We are here south, right? And we'll be moving generally to the north, but we can traverse this however you see fit. As of this moment, when we start off, there's no enemy. We're not getting shot at. We don't see anybody. We haven't seen anybody all day. And we can rearrange this however you want, whatever formation, satellite patrol. I'm just putting it up there to give us a starting point. So anybody in the chat, we can type it out, or if you want to join the Discord, you can talk voice chat like everybody else has been. And I need volunteers. Yeah, that's awesome, Twin Arrows. I love pups. Anybody want to be a team leader and then a squad leader? Rebel, you want to be a team leader, dude? Squad leader? Twin Arrows? HK?
Yeah, I'll jump in.
Perry? You too?
Yep. Can you hear me here?
Yeah. Try and set this up so you can see it a little bit better, maybe. Are y'all watching the YouTube as well? In the Discord chat, you guys watching the YouTube as well? Oh. Everybody that's in the Discord, are you guys watching the YouTube as well?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not. I'm only watching your Discord stream.
If you're going to be a team leader, it'll be easier if you're on YouTube, if you're watching YouTube, just because you can see the screen a little bit better.
All right, let me see if I can do that.
So which one of you two wants to be squad leader? Who wants to be team leader? Because there's going to be a squad leader who's also acting as a team leader, and then a second team leader.
I'll go with team leader. Give the squad leader to the other fella.
All right, cool. HK, it's on you. You've been voluntold. You're squad leader. So as squad leader, I know you're already trying to fumble a million things. Do you know what kind of formation you want you guys to be in, or anything special like that?
I'm getting echo. I may have to type it out in your YouTube.
I just muted the YouTube.
Twice.
If you have YouTube up and you just mute YouTube and listen to Discord, it's been working all right.
I'm on my phone. I don't know if I can do that. Let me see if I can.
Here, HK, you said this one out. Twin Arrows will be squad leader,
Yeah,
and then Perry can be team leader, and you can hop in the next one, man. There'll be plenty. I appreciate you, bro. All right.
Yep.
So, Twin, what do you want to do? You have a 6-man element. How you want them?
follow you to hell. And you said we're just tasked with reconning the valley or moving south to north.
Right, we're reconning like this whole greater area, but just for this little bit that we're going to talk about, we're just moving through this piece of terrain, right? This is a topographic map, right? So this is we are standing on the low spots. Everything is up from us, and these this green is just vegetation. The more dense the green is, the more dense the vegetation is.
Yeah. Well, I think Twin's typing it out, but I can give kind of, I guess, my 2 cents.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Probably the 2-3-man wedge with about 10, 15 meter spacing, depending on how dense the vegetation is. And I'd probably want to hook that southeast hill, go around it, so you're not going through the valley. Maybe get a little overlook with an LPOP or something on the other side of that hill to move. And I would just move up that far east side. You got that long hill that kind of reaches down south there. So you set up your LPOP on that little hill to the southeast. Then you move your team south to north, get to that longer hill there. Set up your secondary team to kind of watch as the first guys move up.
Okay, that's definitely one way to do it. Twin Arrow, you said you want them all online, or what's up, man? Scattered online across the south, headed north. Scattered online east to west. Like this, Twin, across the bottom. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I wonder if there's like a big delay between the Discord and live stream.
There was like a couple second delay when I was looking at it for a minute, like looking between your two videos. So I don't know if that's coming through different if he's on a phone or something.
We might have to make it so guys have to hop on the Discord, and then that means I'll probably have to set my Discord camera up better next time. All right, Twin, I'm going to let Perry go ahead and take over the squad leader just because we're able to communicate a little bit better, brother. Hopefully I see you in the Discord here pretty soon. All right, so you wanted to send one team around like this and then establish an LPOP up here, correct?
Yeah, yep, probably like right after the crest of the hill, so you got the hill to your backdrop, you're not silhouetting on that hilltop there.
Right.
And then move your guys around the bottom of the hill through the vegetation to the next hill.
Okay, and then so we're going to take the other 3-man team and move them up like that.
Yep, yeah, right up to that next hill.
Okay. While this team is moving around the back hill, they're right about here, you take your team that's establishing an LPOP, takes a couple pop shots from the top of this crest. 4 or 5 shots, ring out.
Okay. So I think depending on if they can get good eyes on that other hill, they're going to lay down their base of fire. We can maneuver that other team, keep them going the same way they're already going, so that they can set up on top of that ridge line there and start directing fire back. And then just take that first team and start bounding while the second team sets up that base of fire. Or, if they get good fire on the first hill, that second team can just start bounding and do battle drill 1 alpha with it. Just kind of have them attack through the objective while the first team's laying down fire.
Okay. So everybody just keep going the direction they are, doing the job they pretty much already had. As these guys
keep up with the plan.
Yeah, as these guys push up to right about here, there's just a hailstorm of bullets to break out. Some of them are coming down this way, but they've pretty much gotten out of line of sight. But there's just like 200 rounds in the course of 30 seconds ring out onto the LPOP primarily. You take one injury, but he's not KIA, and he's actually able to continue to return fire. He just got hit in the lower leg. And so your boys are pumping lead back, but they're getting lead pumped into them. This exchange lasts for about 30 seconds, at which point all enemy fire ceases. What do you do?
So, I think if there are completely cease fire on the enemy side, that they're probably just doing the harassing fire and they're all getting out of there. I would still attack through the objective, try to see if there is anybody on that objective. At that point, just kind of bounding the 2 teams up. Once you get that second team set up on the hill, then you can move that first team through the valley. So they're moving up to that hilltop to set up. And then you just kind of bound the 2 teams forward while you have eyes on that hilltop and see if anybody else pops up.
While this team is moving up the hill, you receive another volley of fire, equally vicious, but for much shorter duration, right? Probably 60, 90 rounds coming at you, equally as fast. And after that, there's a bunch of scurrying you can see in the tree line and stuff. And this team pushes up to take the hilltop quick. And they see some scurrying through the bushes. They send some pop shots, but they don't get shot at after.
Okay, and they're still.
So you have one unserious injured down here, and then you still have 5 people 100% in the fight, and the enemy appears to have egressed. An unknown enemy force appears to have egressed this direction, right, like that.
Yeah. Okay. I think honestly, I'm gonna kind of keep that team in the northeast still there, then oriented on that. Attack through the objective, kind of clear it, see if there's anything worth taking, anything worth checking out intel wise, or
who you bringing up here.
That second team where the one guy got hit, my first LPOP team.
Right, so you have a buddy pair that's going to come this way.
Oh yeah. Oh, so that guy that got hit, he's totally out of the.
He's shot in the lower leg. He's shot in the lower leg, so he's not trying to go walk around a whole bunch.
Yeah. Nope. I think just reverse the roles. Have that team stay with the support by fire and kind of move the more ambulatory team through the objective. and then just try and get off the X as quick as possible. So, just sweep it as quick as you can and then set up probably on that same hilltop in the northeast for follow on.
So these guys go this way?
Yeah, attack through.
Cool. They get up here on objective. They identify that basically it looked like an enemy LPOP. There's a hot breakfast still on the jet boil and a bunch of fucking empty mags and shit scattered about, stuff they weren't able to stuff in their bag. And there's some blood stains and things like that, but no personnel are left behind.
Okay. Yeah, I think at that point, if we're not supposed to be there for a long time, then just kind of get all that information written down and move on to the next objective. Get off the spot.
Right. Probably your recon patrol is done now because you have an injured personnel.
Yep. I'm taking contact there.
Yep. So we're probably gonna have to move immediately off the X with ourselves, right? So help this dude walk or pick him up or whatever we got to do, so we can move like at least 500 meters, if not a click, off the X, and then from there try to radio in or contact or figure out some sort of transportation. Obviously, that's like follow on, who knows what's going on, situation dependent type stuff.
Yeah. No, I think that's pretty spot on. Just kind of keep up the violence, keep up the momentum, and then get out of there as quick as you can.
Absolutely. All right, bro, you killed it. No problem, twin dude. It's all good, homie. So everybody in chat, what would you do different? What are your thoughts? How would you have handled it differently? HK, did you get your situation figured out, dude? No impact, no idea. All right, everybody on the YouTubes, another thought experiment for you. It is modern times, and you are driving down the interstate, possibly just traveling to work or something like that. Probably not, because it's not rush hour. It's just Saturday. You're driving down the interstate. Maybe you're on your way to go fishing. Maybe you're on your way to go to the gun range. And while you're jamming out to your jams, minding your own business, you start to receive semi-effective sporadic fire on your vehicle. Like somebody from somewhere is definitely pop shotting your vehicle as you drive down the highway. What do you do? This is a real thing that's happened in America recently.
That's a tough one. I feel like if it's did you say that the vehicle that's sending the fire is moving as well?
You're just driving down your vehicle down the highway, and for the first thing, the first sound or whatever that happened, you were like, what the heck? And then it was like again. And you were like, oh, somebody's definitely shooting at my car right now. They're like impacting the side panels of your car. Obviously not close enough to where you are sitting as the driver to have an immediate effect on you, but you now are 100% sure your car is being impacted by rounds.
Yeah. No, my first reaction is kind of drive through.
Impacted by rounds.
Yeah. No, my first reaction is kind of drive through the ambush. You just kind of gun it, get out of there, make it through. But
yeah, I mean, I think the first thing I would do is try to determine where it's coming from and see if I can get away. If I can't get away and I'm in traffic, I want to turn my vehicle engine facing where the fire is coming from and try to put my engine block on my truck between me and the shooter. If you got a truck gun, get the truck gun out. If you just have a handgun, depending on how far away it is, I mean, probably not worth trying to engage, but I want to put myself behind some sort of barrier that's actually going to stop.
Okay, so you gun it, which I think is the correct answer, and you drive through the engagement and you stop getting shot at, and while you're driving through, you see off in the distance there's like an overpass or whatever, and you see a car parked on the side, and then you look in front of you and you see other cars pulled off to the side of the road, 2 or 3, that also look like the same thing just happened to them. What do you do? Just keep driving on, call the police, or do you try and take care of it yourself? Keep moving or turn around. Twin arrows, there's no wrong answer, brother. That's the beauty of this. That's the whole thing. There is no wrong answer. It's this just to get you to think, dude. There's an orthodox answer, and that orthodox answer might be the correct answer. It also could walk you right into a booby trap. So, you know, situation dependent. Definitely the default answer if you're in a vehicle and you're getting ambushed is to drive through the ambush, right? You can drive that vehicle at over 100 miles an hour. That's going to get you the fuck out of the enemy's range way faster than you on your 2 legs walking around. So you should get yourself, you're already at a disadvantage, right? You're being engaged, already at a disadvantage. So it's silly of you to try and now start this fight while you're at the worst possible. Like you're in the middle of the road, you have no cover, you don't know where it's coming from, you're not prepared for the fight, and you're already actively being shot at semi-precisely. Probably try to avoid that fight, not pick it up, right? So if you can drive off the X, no matter what the scenario is, right? Even if you're driving around in Humvees or whatever with a bunch of 50 cals on the top, if you get ambushed, you want to drive off the X, and then once you're out of the kill zone, you can decide to do whatever it is you decide to do. All right, so this is going to be the same exact scenario. Well, it's going to be a different scenario, but it's the same exact setup as last time. It's without rule of law. We have a 6-man recon team or squad, whatever you want to call it. And we don't have any idea what's out here, which is why we're out here reconning. So I can't give you any intel. That's what we're here to get, the intel. Who would like to squad lead this one? Any takers for squad leader?
I can hop in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you were paying attention earlier, you got a pretty good bearing. We have a six-man group. I would divide that up into 2 3-man teams is how I would personally do that. And we are traversing through this area. The elevation is all up. The base level is the lowest elevation. And the more green lines closer together, the more dense the vegetation. We are starting generally down here in the southeast, and we need to move generally north.
Our goal is to go north.
Right. We're traveling across this massive area, much larger than the map that I have up here. Right now, we're traveling north through this area that I have mapped out, and some things will happen while we travel through it. But we don't know that. We're just walking. It's on you, brother. I apologize.
What's up?
It's on you, brother. How do you want us?
Well, I would. You said it was starting in the southeast.
Yep.
I would put one of the teams up on the hill and kind of scout, and then one up in the vegetation on the right side. Can we go around the?
We can do whatever. You tell me what you want to do. You tell me, brother.
Right. Yeah, I'll put 3 up on the hill, and then 3 go around that vegetation.
Up here?
Yeah, up on the right.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Cool. While team 1 is moving up the right, they receive some sporadic fire from the top of this hill. 10 to 30 shots ring out over 10 seconds.
We'll try to suppress fire with the team on the hill.
Okay.
And I guess retreat back with the 3 that pushed up further.
Okay. So you start to engage with the team on the hill. Once you start to engage with the team on the hill and then retreat with these guys. Immediately upon opening up fire, the team on the hill is then engaged by a belt-fed weapon system from the top of this hill right here.
The team that's retreating is?
The team on the top of this hill opened up fire, and then in return, a belt-fed opened up on them.
I think, yeah, just trying to get out of there is the best option.
Yeah, how we do that?
Well, if the team up on the right could get behind the cover from the elevation.
Sure. So
crawl, I guess.
Yeah. So they're coming. They're skedaddling. They're moving. They take 2 guys, get injured, but they are, given the current situation and adrenaline dump, they're still on their feet and moving for now. And these guys are now slightly off map, but they're coming up close. They're out of the line of fire. And now you're getting not only the belt fed, which is concentrating its fire on you, but you're starting to get rifle fire on the top of that hill position as well.
I guess just like try to get a precision shot onto somebody on the hill with the people on the bottom while the other guys are running, and then maybe just one of their guys going down would make them like cease fire for just a second or two, and that's enough time to get out of there.
Okay, so you attempt to take a precision shot on who you deem is possibly the leader. You see somebody making a lot of pointing around a bunch up here. You happen to have a precision system with you. They take that shot. It's successful. About the same time that shot goes out, a second belt fed opens up on you from this position.
Yeah, you said 2 of the guys that were on the right side got hit.
2 of these guys are hit. They're now basically linked up. You're able to talk verbally back and forth to each other with your mouth, but they are tucked away in behind elevation, so they're not in the line of fire. These guys up front are in a pretty serious gunfight. They're getting heavy fire coming at them from 2 belt-fed systems and a myriad of rifles.
I guess just keep suppressing fire with the team on the hill and get the injured guys still moving if they can.
Yeah, everybody's still on their feet for now.
Yeah. So just the guys that are hit, get them out of there as quick as they can while team on the hill is still suppressing, using the hill as cover.
Okay, so this team continues to exfil. The team on the front stays up. While you continue to try to suppress these 2 units, you now start to receive rifle fire from over here directly 90 degrees of you.
No, like vehicles close at all?
Yeah, no, not at all.
I think just trying to run and get out of their range.
Yes.
Is really the only option.
Yes. So at this point, you're going to try to exfil. I would say, given the circumstances, realistically, you might lose a guy or 2, but you probably would be able to get the greater size of the unit out of there largely alive in this situation. I mean, everything's always dependent, right? But that would be my judgment call. This scenario was the scenario was
can't do much against, like you said, 3 belt-fed guns.
It was 2 initially, and then rifles were coming here. If you stayed much longer, there was going to be a 3rd belt fed on you. This scenario was that you initially ran into a lead team of a rifle platoon out on a movement to contact. So as the longer as soon as the first guy, anything happens, you got 30 meat eaters that are like sprinting up there to try and get in on the action. And so the longer you stay there, the more of that is going to be amassed on your position.
More casualties, yeah. Just getting out of there as quick as you can, really.
You definitely have to, return fire here and there and stuff. But yeah, the name is get the fuck out. Goodbye. Time to leave. Smokes if you got them.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right, boys and girls. This has been 1 hour of live streaming. I think I am all done for tonight. Hopefully, we can make this a regular thing. Everybody that's watching this, hop in the Discord. And next week, hopefully, I'll have a situation set up better so Discord people can look through the Discord camera. All righty, everyone. Thank you for participating. I love you all. Thank you for keeping freedom free. Have a great night.
Thank you. Take care.